Okay, welcome to the demo section centered around your struggle perhaps of bid tracking. So FollowUp Power, we've created this system to track your bids for you. And common problems for companies with bid tracking is they're trying to use an Excel spreadsheet, or maybe they're in folders still stacking on your desk. Or you have an Excel spreadsheet that's not shareable and you're not able to get up-to-date information and reporting as to where these bids are in the process. And so we want to streamline that for you, and take that whiteboard you may have in your main conference room and where you're manually updating, and which means you're forgetting, which means you don't know what's happening, and turn that into an up-to-date information database at all times that's accessible because it's in the cloud, and that you can see exactly what's going on with every single project in the sales process, and it's easy for your users to update. It's a click of a button and saving the file. So we solve that problem for you, and the way we track your bids is a myriad of ways. I'm just going to highlight some of the main functions that we want to focus on, one of which is statusing the bids and making sure that when it's in what we call the pipeline, that it has a status according to when that decision is going to be made. For example, you just bid a job. Do you just bid it and bid it, or do you bid it to win it? And if so, what stage of the sales process is it as it relates to when they're going to buy? Is this a budget job that's a year out? Is this something that you think is verbal, you're going to close in 30 days, or that's just hot, that they're in decision mode, or 6-month holding pattern? So when you talk about tracking bids and knowing where they are in each stage, it's really important. So this is a database. So this particular situation, we're able to track from when you first start using FollowUp Power. When you have 2 years, 3 years worth of data, those files aren't gone. They're still there. So you can look at history and see back when you bid that one job. Perhaps you bid a job and it takes 3 years to close. I've heard clients talk about that success all the time, where it's in the pipeline, they follow up, and the job never really, fully formed, and next thing you know, boom, it's back in action and it's proceeding, and you guys were managing that, and they're having success because they didn't let it slip through the cracks, or it was on the whiteboard, from last year that got erased because we didn't hear anything. Okay, so when we focus on bid tracking, there's a few other ways I want to focus on. One of which is setting goals so that when we're tracking our bids, we're making sure that we're achieving those goals at all times. So we make that really easy. I'm looking at a company view right now, and when I have a bid volume goal, that means how many dollars of bid value do we need to be putting out on the street on a monthly basis. Now, when I look at the company view, that's just the sum of all the individual contributors of that. So when I'm putting bids on the street, that means I'm filling up the pipeline, and I'm tracking those. So if we looked at one of these bids, I could drill right into this information. I could see this particular project is in the pipeline right now, and it's got an ID. So every single project has an ID, and it's tracked, and every single milestone from the inception, from the comments and activities completed, are tracked. And so we do that for you. We make that easy, where you check the box, set the next activity, to ensure that every single one of your bids are not only tracked, but they're being followed up on, they're searchable, they're accessible, and there's a structure to make sure that the appropriate actions are being done within the system, so that not only is your bid getting out and getting tracked, but the right steps are getting implemented so that your company can be successful. All right, so let's take a look at like a search function. Like you could search by bid name, by bid ID. You can, all of these things, you could slice it up by any table that you set up for your company. In addition to that, we have reports and charts that really track reports. So I'm going to do like a bid proposal report. Now I could talk about this in the other section of the demo, but if I wanted to look at a bid proposal report from the beginning of the year for all types of contracts, you actually would have an office section, which is great. This sample demo does not, but you would have office for those companies that you have perhaps multiple divisions or offices. So I could put this into Excel, I could do an Adobe Acrobat. Let's go ahead and put it into PDF form. And when I pull this report, it's going to show me the status of all the bids that I've put out. So it shows the project name, it shows the bid dates, It shows who is the account manager and the next follow-up, the base bid amount, the lead source. Again, if this is in Excel, you can slice this up however you want as well, but I'm just going to show a summary, which is pretty cool. So it'll show a summary of all the bids that were bid, the dollar total, and it's broken down by account manager, broken down by estimator, by contract type, and office. That's just one example of how we track your bids and record those. There's more to this for sure. Like for example, I can go back to January of 2016 up until, let's go December of 2016 for all the company and look at how many bids we secured. So I'm in the report section now. I'm going at a higher level, but we track the summary and the total of all the activities. You can see year or month over month in that particular year. If I wanted to pull that another year, I could compare year over year. Really powerful stuff. So bid tracking, it's all within the file data section, one section, and we track it in a myriad of ways, exactly how you want to see it, and that way things aren't slipping through the cracks. And so take that Excel spreadsheet, that whiteboard that you're using, that maybe that software that wasn't designed for projects that's maybe too contact oriented. Try us, FollowUp Power, we have a free trial. Don't hesitate. Go ahead and just get this going and start tracking your bids so that you can gain more control and get more clarity of your future business right now.